Hey guys, thanks for dialing back in. Today we're gonna jump right into some Leviathan or Leviathan kills, pretty much the fish boss here. This one came about with the Desert Treasure 2 quest a few years ago. There's some unique bosses that get unlocked at the back end of that quest, so wish us luck today. I would say there's probably an 80% chance I'm gonna die here. It's been a while since I tried the fight. It was already hard even when I knew what I was doing, so we're going to keep the gear simple, we're going to keep the approach simple, and I'm probably not going to do this the most efficient way, but I figured it'd make a good video, so let's try it out. We just used the teleport option. If you're familiar with the Guardians of the Rift game that they released for runecrafting a few years ago, there's a portal right next to there which allows you to get to this place called the Scar. And the Scar is where we can actually reach the Leviathan boss. So, just taking my little rowboat over to the area now. And once I go up onto this platform using the handholds, you're going to see that the boss will spawn pretty quickly. And we're just going to brace ourselves for the ride from there. So, again, don't be surprised if I die. No big deal if I do. We'll lose a little bit of money. We'll have to run back to the spot and get our gear, but we're going to give this a few shots before we wrap up the stream. So let me eat one of my angler fish there. I've got my dragon crossbow ready. Again, nothing fancy about that, just some basic gear to do some range attacks. And then I do have my Missouri armor, I've got my Ava's assembler, and then some ruby dragon bolts that we're going to use for most of this fight. So, anyway, enough from me. Let's dive in here and we'll see some action. Here we go. You'll see I've got to change my prayers pretty frequently throughout this one. The Leviathan's attacks get quicker and quicker as we go, so that means I've got to be even quicker as well. What I just did there is I used one of my smoke barrage attacks, shadow barrage. That actually stuns the Leviathan for a few seconds there so we can sneak up behind him. And now he's going to do a special attack. He doesn't really love when you shoot him in the back. There's like an open, almost like a wound area that you can hit him through, and it does some pretty decent damage each time. Just trying to stay ahead of this electric attack, because if I don't, it'll wipe me out pretty quickly. Again, this is a level, I think it's like 798 boss, so certainly got a lot of strength. If you want to picture a magic card with Gyarados powers, that's pretty much the fish we're fighting here. My smoke barrage attack again. You can see his attacks were starting to get super quick there, so you gotta make sure you smoke barrage him or shadow barrage or whatever you can there. Oh. It's already getting a little bit sweaty in here. Let's see if I can hit that attack now. Okay, luckily we got him there. I'm going to heal up a little bit as I'm running around. There's still a chance we can make it. I really didn't want to block off that path area. That's going to create an issue for me later on. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute, but again, this isn't going to be the most efficient run here. We're really just trying to find a way to survive, so keep me in your thoughts. I really need to be able to run around this block where the Leviathan is, and now that I've blocked it with boulders, it's going to make that a lot more challenging. I guess it's good for the stream. It's almost guaranteed I'm going to die here now, but we'll keep it running anyway. There we go. At least we weren't surprised, right? I'll try to teleport back. It's going to take a minute to walk there, and then we'll gear up and do it again. But again, a good video. There's a lot of stuff that could go wrong pretty quickly there, so it's just a matter of accepting that fate, trying to build some muscle memory with it, and then once you get used to his special attacks, it's really not all that complicated. You just have to be alert. Let's see. I'm going to teleport back to my house. And from there, we're going to use a fairy ring to go to the DIS fairy location. That's actually the Wizard's Tower. And the reason why we do that again is this Wizard's Tower is kind of connected to the Guardians of the Rift game. You'll see once I go down this ladder, there's going to be another portal. This blue thing right here. That's what we're going to use to get to the Guardians of the Rift minigame. And then if you look at this Catalytic Guardian here, there's actually a travel option on him. So if we use that, it's going to take us back to the Scar location. They didn't make this one very easy to get to. There are a few other travel options though. This is really like option 3 of 3. But I just wanted to show you guys the end-to-end here for those that might not have the more convenient options unlocked yet. This might be like the best you can do. You're going to see because of the gear that I was using, I did just lose 312k for that death, you know, just to collect my loot. It's a pretty hefty penny there. So maybe you want to start off even with slightly cheaper gear, so if you do die, it's not going to cost you quite as much to reclaim it. But I'll leave that up to you. Folks, before we dive into this one, I would ask if you're enjoying the content so far, if you wouldn't mind liking my video, and then also following my page. That'd be super helpful here. We're trying to build a fan base, and right now I'm trying to get up to 50, maybe 100 followers, so every single one of those is going to count. I am going to disclose again, I've already got less than a full inventory of food. Unless I start this one off perfectly, I'm probably going to die again. So let's see how it goes. This is so intense. Gonna try to use my Shadow Barrage. There we go. At least we got that hit. Gonna sneak up behind him to this open wound area. You can see his spine or whatever that is showing through. And now he's got his electrical attack going. You'll see I did bring 2 stamina pots with me. Obviously, if you survive long enough to do this fight a few times without re-gearing, you're going to run out of stamina. So that's why you want to make sure you've got both food, also prayer, and then your stamina potions just in case. Our magic attack. Try to stun him again. It worked. So now we'll sneak up behind him, shoot him in that spine area. And now he's going to go into his next special attack, I believe. great. We got all those boulders out of the way, so that's huge progress from last time. If we could keep doing that, it's really going to help in the final phase of the fight, and also if he pulls out that electrical attack again. Okay, we just got our magic attack in. Now we just shot him in the spine again. He should go into his electrical attack. Yep, so we're just going to do a lap here. If you want, you could try to sneak in a few hits here and there, but you run the risk of losing your momentum in the run. So, like right there, I just got a hit off. I'll leave that up to you if you want to try doing that more frequently throughout this. Oops. We just stunned him. We'll go hit him in the back. Oh no. We were doing so good. I got myself cornered by those boulders. Had I not gotten stuck there, we would have been starting the enraged phase, which is the final phase of the fight. And you'll see what happens there, but essentially it's a non-stop barrage of those aerial attacks, the same way I've been switching my prayer the whole time. We have to do that in the final phase, but while we're running around that center block. So pretty much you shoot, you walk, you shoot, you walk, and you just go on for a few minutes. So we were literally 30 seconds away from being done with that. Let's gear up and we'll try it again, alright? I'll bring more food this time. Oh, I'll just grab a teleport again. We're gonna go through that whole phase of go into the Wizard's Tower, go into the Guardians of the Rift, go into the Scar. So, good practice for us, right? We'll walk up here. And again, if you're looking at my gear setup and my armor, there are so many different options you could pick from if you want to try this fight out. I do not have the most efficient setup. Obviously, I don't even have my gear right now because I have to pick it up. But just do what you're comfortable with, and keep in mind that you are going to have to pay for your gear if you die. So you don't want to walk in the very first time with the most expensive stuff, or it's just going to be a money dump while you're going through that learning curve. So I know it's tempting sometimes, just walk in with full max gear and all that, but if you don't really know the mechanics of the fight, it might not be a good investment there. Let's go find our tombstone and we'll reclaim our stuff again. I'll have to do this a few times since my inventory is so full. Might have to drop some of my fish and leave them here. That's okay. I'm really just trying to get to my teleport tabs there. I'd like to take those. We'll grab these prayer potions that are on the ground now. Obviously they're more valuable, expensive at least I should say, than the angler fish, so I'm okay leaving some of the fish behind. Okay, I'd say we're good to go. I look at it like fight number 2 was huge progress from fight number 1. you will probably die a few dozen times before you get a win here. Or I'm just not that good, I don't know. But I would say just don't be afraid to give it a shot, and hopefully this video helps you pick up some tricks. But let's dive back in. Our magic attack. Now we'll go shoot him in the back here. Looks like he's gonna do his electric attack, so we'll start running. Trying to sneak a few range attacks in. Just got a hit there, so that's helpful. Got another one there. You'll find your groove with it. I know I will too. I used to do this probably a year or so ago. I could probably get 6 or 7 kills per run. So I don't give up on it. It's a pretty cool fight. I love the graphics and all the animations and all that, so just stick with it. Go get him over here again. Now he's going to do his boulder attack as the next special attack, so I just got clubbed by it again. Try to run behind one of those rocks as soon as he's done dropping the boulders, just like I did. It's kind of like the Croc in the Tombs of the Mascot raid. He's going to do that screech attack at the end of his boulder drop, so you don't want to be just standing there out in the open. I'm healing as I run here. That way, once I finally stop running, I'll be able to just do the most damage possible without having to take a few seconds out to heal up. Because really, as you've seen here, every second counts in this one. Turned my runoff so that way I can casually walk around the rocks and stuff here. Oh no, and I got myself stuck. Alright, let's telly out. There's no way I can get out of that one. That one was so beautiful too until I got myself stuck in the corner. That was silly, but what I was trying to show you though is if you're quick enough to shut your runoff when he's starting that boulder attack, it's kind of like when you're fighting Vorkath and he's doing that slow attack, that constant mage barrage at you. It's actually easier to just casually walk away from the boulders instead of running, because then they're going to form a really clean line for you. And then you can run behind that line at the tail end of it, so you don't take any damage from that screech attack. You can't say I didn't warn you. I told you we were going to die here today. That's okay. Okay, we'll go back to our house. I guess this will be another good time to plug the page here. I see we got some other viewers in the chat. You know, if you wouldn't mind liking the video and following my page, I would much appreciate that. Now from our house portal, we're going to go to the Wizard's Tower. We've spent more time here than I care to admit today. Let's see. We're going to go into the blue portal, and then we'll talk to the Catalytic Guardian here to use the travel option. And now we're back at the Scar location. I mentioned the Desert Treasure 2 quest earlier. Again, that's how you kind of unlock this area, and then the Leviathan boss as well. I think there's at least 3 other big bosses that come with that quest, where they're all similarly challenging in terms of the fight. But definitely completing that quest unlocks a lot of good content, so I'd recommend putting the time in if you've got the skill levels to do it. Alright, let's take bets here. Who thinks we're going to win this one? There's got to be one of us. Let's do it. We are getting better and better. I feel like each run has been more efficient. So hopefully this will be the one. We just got a lucky Ruby Dragon Bolt hit. The arrows that I'm carrying, or the bolts I'm carrying, are enchanted. So every once in a while you'll see me take a big chunk out of the guy's health here. Like that 100 shot we did to open up. So that's pretty cool. Okay, looks like he's going to do his electric attack, so we'll start running. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was going to be the electric one. That's okay, though. That's going to make it a little bit harder here, but it won't completely ruin us. I think we could still get through it. If I'm going to be able to make it over here quick enough. We'll see. Oh, there we go. Alright, so now we've got to run broader laps, or wider laps around this electric attack, so that's going to be challenging. You can see I took a hit there. It's my own fault though, that was completely avoidable had I positioned myself for the boulders earlier, so again, you live and you learn. Just gonna try to keep healing up to see if we can at least survive the fight. Okay. Man, if it wasn't for these boulders, we would be okay here. We just put him into his enrage attack, so I've got to get over to this white thing that's floating around the screen. I need to make sure I'm moving with that the best I can, or else I'm going to take a bunch of damage and stuff. You can see there's a lot of clicking you've got to do in parallel. No! So close! You guys are gonna kill me. As is the Leviathan. I knew it though. I told you it was salvageable, but it makes it so much harder when those boulders are blocking your path. Like, the odds are just not in your favor. see. I think I have a few fish still waiting for us back in our at our tombstone, but I'm still gonna load up some more just to make sure we're truly full by the time we start the fight. The thing that's cool about this though is it's such a unique boss and the attacks are so cool. Like, even when I'm dying while fighting it, I don't seem to care. You know, like, it's a pretty quick fight overall. Like, once you get the hang of it, the rewards will be good. And it just seems like it's not as, like, redundant and, like, tedious as some other content is in the game. So, I don't know, at least for me, I enjoy being there, even while dead. Let's see, what all can we carry? Alright, we've got most of the things. You can see my inventory's pretty jammed again. Hopefully I stay alive long enough to need the food. It seems like when things go wrong, they go horribly wrong, and it's a pretty quick death, so... We're gonna cross our fingers for the next one. Let's do it. So far, so good. Okay, I'm switching to turn my runoff right there. Now I'm going to casually walk back. That right there was picture perfect. That's the best we've done so far with that boulder attack, so that'll be the highlight for the stream. We learned how to walk today. Heal up as I'm running over. So far, we're really doing good here. I think we got a good shot at this one. We're going to start running because he's going to go into his electric attack here. Getting a few hits in as I'm running around him. He does alternate between the two special attacks, his electric and the boulder attack, so I know for the next one the boulders are coming. Might as well get in position for it. I'm gonna try to stun him. Okay, and now I'm going to turn my run off, casually walk this way. Perfect. I'm going to turn around before I get boxed in the corner again. Oh, we are on fire for this one. This is perfect. He's probably going to go into his enraged phase, if not right now, after like 2 or 3 more hits, so we'll be ready to jump to that white thing and follow it around. Just going to heal up my prayer. Not heal up my prayer, fill my prayer. I'm all sweaty from this battle today. This is not one you can just kind of snooze through. go. So this is the enraged phase. Now we're going to run around following this white thing. I'll have to look up the actual name of it, but we've got to walk, shoot, and we're switching our prayers the whole time too. Luckily we don't have the boulders blocking our path this time. We've improved so much today. He's almost done, guys. There we go. Easy. Boom. I knew we could do it. Just took 85 tries. We got 29K from that. I'm really not in it for the other drops. I thought this would be cool content to show you guys, so that's like the main goal of mine today, is show you something cool. But also, you know I love the pets, so if we see a pet drop here, this will just make it the best day of the year for me, so that's what I'm really after. Now that we've overcome the boulder attacks, I feel like we're going to be unstoppable here. Heal up while we're running across, so we save ourselves some time. Oh, we didn't get that shot off there, unfortunately. That's okay, though. I think it's boulders coming up, maybe? Yep. We're gonna slowly walk up this way. We're gonna form that wall to protect us from his shriek attack. There we go. Easy. Oops. Now we know he's going to go into his electric attack since he used boulders last time, so we'll start running. Got a lucky ruby bolt hit there. You can tell from that squeal when you actually hit your with your special attack, so that's pretty cool. There's another one. Imagine if we get the pet drop here. After all those losses and restarts, how good would that be? Trying to get these boulders out of the way. I started off a little bit closer to him than I wanted to be, so that's why I walked outbound. Luckily we were able to save that situation a bit. Once he gets under 200, that's when his enraged phase starts, so you can see he's very close to it. We actually just put him into it. So here's the final phase. Good luck us. Look how quick we went through that one now. Taking quite a bit of damage here. It's a lot to try to switch your prayers so often. no. We may go down here. We gotta pull it together. Hopefully we get a lucky hit here. Boom. Alright. There's 2 kills, not bad. Let's actually teleport out real quick. I feel like that's going to be a good place to wrap it up for today. You know, so many attempts there in the beginning, but we got a lot cleaner at the end. I would say for this being my first time back in quite a while, having 2 kills in a single run is a pretty cool achievement. And like I said, once we get really into our groove and build that muscle memory, I think we're going to get probably 7, maybe 8 or 9 kills per run. So it's really going to scale quickly. So anyway, hopefully you guys liked the video. You know, if you wouldn't mind liking the video and following my page, again, I'd super appreciate that. And we're going to keep putting out the content. So thanks so much. I'll catch you soon.